conflict in the Middle East will have an impact here.
And that is set to push gas prices and diesel up significantly in the days ahead.
How higher prices are affecting where and how we travel. Plus, less livable.
I think we need to not be too discouraged by one ranking that this year has evaluated us a little bit differently.
Calgary drops on a list of cities around the world. And making city roads safer.
Just more spaces where there aren't cars and only pedestrians, because cars and pedestrians shouldn't mix.
How drones and other technology are meant to improve traffic.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. The price at the pumps is starting to jump, and the main reason is the global risk due to fighting between Israel and Iran. Of course, it's only one of the factors impacting energy prices. Alicia Fielberg looks at the potential impacts during the peak travel season.
The cost of fueling up is going up and is expected to keep rising due to growing tension in the Middle East.
It is possible that over the next week or two, gas prices could go up by anywhere from 5 to 15 cents a liter, depending on how exactly the situation in the Middle East continues to unfold.
Attacks between Israel and Iran elevate the risk of an impact to the amount of oil shipped from the area or produced by Iran. So companies try to brace by stockpiling oil now.
When you know it's going to be a rainy day, you don't wait for it to rain to get an umbrella. You leave with an umbrella. That's essentially what the energy markets are doing here, but that inherently increases demand immediately and sends oil prices higher.
Gas prices impact how some Calgarians choose to travel.
Probably walking to work, sometimes bike.
So I decided to get this bike and started using the bike because of gas prices, yeah.
And likely where they go as well. According to TD Research, 69% of Albertans are planning to travel within Canada this summer, with most people choosing BC and Alberta.
They're looking to visit small businesses and support them during the summer when they will be traveling, and staying close to home will be something that is important to them this year.
Plans likely influenced by the U.S. trade war, and the uncertainty with that is impacting energy too.
Trade wars and tariffs, that's an impediment to growth, which reduces oil consumption and can drive prices lower.
Many economists predicted tariffs could lead to a global recession, which could see oil drop to $66 a barrel, below the $68 a barrel used to determine the latest provincial budget. Alberta's finance minister says our budget set conservative assumptions, built in contingencies, and was focused on long-term stability. We're prepared to manage the uncertainty. Calgarians say they're also preparing for the ups and downs at the pumps.
We come down again and go up again, and I take the good with the bad.
And Alicia joins us from Connaught. Alicia, what prices might we see at the pumps in Calgary?
Well, Ian, right now, the average price in Calgary is $1.31 per litre, according to Gas Buddy data, and that is up 3 cents compared to last week when Israel first attacked Iran and then they began retaliating. But in the coming weeks, we could see that go above $1.45 a litre. Now, that might not happen overnight, so there might be still a little bit of time if you want to save a few dollars to fill up over the next few days. And last year around this time, just a reminder, we were over $1.50 per litre, but that was including the carbon tax. Ian?
Okay, thanks very much, Alicia. Calgary's livability score is taking a tumble. That's according to annual rankings that look at the top places to live in the world. Jordan Canigan has more on why Calgary is falling down the list.
It's a Stampede City slide. Calgary has fallen in a yearly ranking of best places to live in the world, moving from 5th last year to 18th this year.
It's one ranking. There's a lot of other rankings that talk about our affordability, talk about us as a global startup ecosystem. So we kind of look at them as the big picture.
The Economist Intelligence Unit compiles a list of 173 cities in the world looking at 5 categories: stability, culture and environment, education, infrastructure, and Calgary's score slid in the final consideration, healthcare.
What we hear from Albertans, including in Calgary, is they're worried about accessing the care they need when they need it. You know, they don't have a doctor. The service reductions in facilities. They're on wait lists for cancer care, for surgeries, for MRIs and other testing.
Every Canadian city saw a decline in healthcare for what the EIU says are strains in the country's National Health Service.
I think this provincial government has recognized that our healthcare system can be stronger. I think the federal government has recognized it as well.
Some Calgarians notice an overall decline too.
That's right. Everything else, right now, the living cost, that's the biggest problem.
I don't think that's correct. I think Calgary is, to me, it should be number one.
Copenhagen, Vienna, and Zurich took the top 3 worldwide spots. Calgary is still in the top 20 with high marks in the other categories.
We go out and survey North American business leaders and talent on their view on Calgary. And this year, 75% of all the talent and business leaders that we spoke to said they have a favorable view of our city and they understand the opportunity here in Calgary.
Jordan is in the southeast with more. In Jordan, healthcare is a provincial responsibility. What does the Alberta government have to say about this?
Well, Ian, in a statement, Alberta's new Ministry of Primary Health Services takes issue with the list, saying the ranking and Calgary's downfall lacks context and information. It points out that the city and province outperform national averages when it comes to some key health metrics, but the Alberta government admits that it does need to do more when it comes to improving the health file, including bringing in more doctors to the province and trying to bring down wait times across Alberta as well. Just one Canadian city cracked the top 10. That was Vancouver. Toronto, meanwhile, comes in at 16th. Ian?
A couple places ahead of Calgary. Thank you, Jordan. The G7 summit is officially over, and now the focus turns to cleanup in Kananaskis. But before every security fence is dismantled and every officer leaves, some of the Albertans who worked the event want to reminisce about a unique few days. Tim Brooke has more.
I almost hung up. I thought it was a prank.
That's the reaction tool shed owner Graham Sherman had when he was tapped to cook for the G7. Months later, he's still in shock and in need of a nap.
I was cooking for 3 days straight, all-nighters on the barbecue. So we got to see all the world leaders come through. We talked to them. They wanted to come check out the barbecues.
Sherman and his son grilled under the watchful eye of Canadian security and the Secret Service.
There is a 17-year Navy veteran that is in charge of watching over every piece of food that gets handed to the president.
He can't say if Donald Trump enjoyed or even ate his barbecue, but he now claims to know the president's food order.
What had to be ready at all times was shrimp cocktail and ice cream, spaghetti and meatballs.
Across the way, retailer Kananaskis Outfitters was cleared to stay open during the summit, though they didn't have much of a view.
We saw, support staff from all the G7 countries, some people that work for the UN, lots of the, Canadian security details.
And Tuesday, the shop received a visit from the Australian Prime Minister.
They just came in, they were like, their meetings were done, and they had a fun little shopping experience, so that was pretty cool.
23 years after meeting the Japanese leader, the Moose Family Kitchen owners weren't so lucky this summit.
It was a little bit more tighter, restricted access for us, being obviously the nature of the times right now.
Even still, those involved call it a worthwhile event.
For us to get that kind of exposure and have them there, and then hopefully we will see them back with their families.
But first, the controlled access zone around K Country is in effect until Thursday. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Kananaskis.
And G7 authorities say no arrests or tickets were issued connected to the summit or any protests. All G7 airspace restrictions are now lifted. And you can check the Alberta Parks website for the status of trails and day use areas. A gas-burning generator operating in the garage has been determined as the cause of a carbon monoxide death in northeast Calgary. One male died at a home in Martindale, and a second male was rushed to hospital yesterday afternoon. Firefighters found dangerously high high readings of carbon monoxide in the house, which appears to have no working CO alarms. Police say no foul play is suspected. 150 people were evacuated from the East Village Superstore when carbon monoxide alarms sounded this afternoon. Firefighters say elevated levels of CO were due to a compressor and idling trucks in the closed underground garage. Fans were brought in to clear the air. The death of a woman downtown on the weekend has been determined non-criminal by police. She died after police responded to a call for a woman in medical distress on 12th Avenue Southwest. An autopsy in the suspicious death of a man in the northeast community of Pine Ridge remains undetermined after an autopsy. Police say more tests are needed. They were called to the scene on Sunday for reports of an assault. The man died later in hospital.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Okay, Danielle, in the short term, we're looking out for some potential thunder showers, but long term, there's a lot of rain coming.
You're right, Ian. Yeah, two major things to talk about in our weather forecast here. The immediate thing to discuss is the severe thunderstorm watch that is in place for many communities in southern Alberta. So we'll start there, and you can see a lot of yellow. Now, earlier, just around Duchess, there was a cell. The warning has now been dropped as this severe thunderstorm cell that was producing some larger size hail has since died out. I'm going to show you that on the radar here, and we'll do a little tracking. But at this point, what were some severe cells tracking towards Highway 36 have now really died out, and the one just north of basically Duchess is at this point just producing lightning and rainfall and some somewhat stronger wind gusts. There you go. So that's some good news there. There's nothing tracking towards Calgary at the moment, which is some good news as well. Calgary looks quiet, but if we do get a cell track towards us, we have enough ingredients in place that it could get intense quite quickly. So keep your eyes on the sky for the evening hours, and then we calm down throughout the overnight hours with just a few showers possible. Tomorrow, a beautiful day, 23 degrees, mainly sunny. Enjoy every moment of it that you can, because after this, it will be cold and very rainy. In fact, localized flooding may be a big issue. We'll talk more about that coming up. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. The City of Calgary is turning to some high-tech solutions to address traffic safety. Drones, VR headsets, and AI are now being used at the Traffic Management Centre. The city says it's a first in Canada. The Alberta Motor Association has released a report that also used new technologies to identify high-risk intersections for drivers and pedestrians. Stephanie Thomas has more.
Officials at Calgary's Traffic Management Centre say no other Canadian city has modernized its traffic control systems like this. Technicians can use a virtual reality VR headset to control traffic flow in real time, and officials want to add more, especially in the core.
We are looking at expanding to 10 to 15 intersections next year, primarily around high pedestrian areas.
The city is also using drones to monitor traffic backups. Technicians here at the centre can change the lights to improve flow. AI is being used to collect data about usage. The mayor says all this helps improve traffic and road safety.
Anything we can do that helps people get around better, easier, and save time in their day, we're absolutely going to deploy every type of technology to make that happen.
It's also fairly cheap. The city spent $10,000 to get the technology integrated with its current system, which manages 1,300 intersections with 200 cameras. Each drone cost about $1,000 and weighs less than a sandwich. The Alberta Motor Association also used AI technology to complete a study about road safety. It identified high-risk near-miss incidents. Across Canada, there's more than one every day. In 7 months, it found 1 in every 770 pedestrians and 1 in every 500 cyclists were almost hit.
So that's where we encourage municipalities to use this real-time data, look at the situation of where these near misses, close calls, some of the perception issues that are reported by the community are real.
Calgarians want the roads to be safer for driving or otherwise.
Safety is the top priority, when crossing the street or when driving on the road.
Just more spaces where there aren't cars and only pedestrians, because cars and pedestrians shouldn't mix.
But I would say City of Calgary is maybe a bit better for the drivers.
And Stephanie joins us now from Southland Drive and McLeod Trail. So Stephanie, what are some other ways the technology can be used?
Ian, the first impact will be to improve traffic flow. As I mentioned earlier, operators can do things like change the lights to relieve backups, and they can do that at this intersection is one of them that is being monitored at the Traffic Management Center. And also, they can give pedestrians more time to cross because they can also affect the lights at crosswalks. But the data that's collected by AI will also help inform the city administration in terms of what areas need improvement or road infrastructure upgrades. And the images collected by the drones will be submitted to Google Maps and Google Images. And the city says that the city of Calgary is the only one in the world to actually be submitting to Google. And so that will help improve navigation on those apps. Ian.
Good to know. Thanks very much, Stephanie. Each year, thousands of Canadians become victims of fraud. It's a multi-million-dollar business, and with the use of artificial intelligence and technology, scammers' tactics are evolving. Now, Calgary police are warning the public of people impersonating officers and banks. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Shock and embarrassment.
Clive Reynolds recounts the time he fell victim to a cryptocurrency scam after taking a call from what he thought was his bank.
He came in as a customer service call from CIBC, and somehow they said that they'd come across some money that I had invested with Bitcoin.
It was all fake, an elaborate plan to steal thousands from him. And he isn't the only one. Danielle Gaddis lost $18,000 after someone called impersonating her bank, claiming someone was in her account stealing money when it was them all along. They even instructed her to cut up her card and send a fake courier to get it.
It looked like the bank. It talked like the bank. The protocols they were giving me were from the bank. And then they provided me the courier name, the courier license plate, the make and model. Everything that I would think that if it was a crook that they wouldn't have provided.
Their experiences are far from rare. Last year, over 36,000 Canadians were victims of fraud, losing almost $650 million, according to the Anti-Fraud Centre. But what's new to Calgary police, scammers are now impersonating officers. This year, they've received over 30 reports, and victims have lost more than $43,000 combined. Like the fake bank calls, the fraudsters are making the caller ID appear as a Calgary police phone number.
If the person identifies them as a police officer, it's okay to ask them what's their full name, what's their badge number, where do they work, what is the case number this is associated with, and ask them to call them back. Then they can actually call the non-emergency line and just confirm all that data and information.
Police say they will never call or email and ask for financial information or money. As for Clive and Danielle, both are still working to get their money back.
I might even be losing my house. They drained me.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Decades ago, it was the area where a Western separatist won a seat in the Alberta legislature. Will it happen again? Just ahead, how voters feel ahead of a by-election in Olds, Didsbury, Three Hills. And handbags for hearts. What's inside them that makes them extra special? Two like-minded governments met in the middle today for a joint caucus meeting. The UCP government of Danielle Smith and the Saskatchewan Party government of Scott Moe met in Lloydminster. They talked about cooperation in the energy and agricultural sectors. Both premiers want an end to what they call federal interference in the development of provincial resources.
Enough is enough. Development of provincial resources is provincial responsibility, and that includes the development of our transmission and electricity grids.
This was a great opportunity for us to bring our caucuses together to discuss the very close alignment that we have in our ambitions to advocate and to represent abroad in markets of interest to both of our provinces and to our nation.
The premiers want Mark Carney's government to eliminate the proposed oil and gas emissions cap and lift the oil tanker ban off the northwestern BC coast. Advanced voting is underway for the provincial by-election in Olds, Didsbury, Three Hills. Last night, voters heard from candidates, including one from a separatist party. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
The polls are open for advance voting in 3 provincial by-elections. 2 are in Edmonton, where NDP leader Naheed Nenshi hopes to win in Edmonton-Strathcona. The 3rd is in the Old Didsbury Three Hills riding. Voters here have a number of issues on their minds.
Stuff that's important to me: oil and gas, beef, firearms, that sort of thing.
Definitely the separation thing for sure is on my mind.
The money they're spending in hospital and stuff, and our school finances in our school. We need to build more schools.
On Tuesday, 3 of the 4 candidates participated in a forum in Old. NDP candidate Beverly Taves was unable to attend because of another commitment.
Alberta's culture is grounded in the foundations of faith, family, and freedom.
The riding saw its MLA, former Speaker Nathan Cooper, step down earlier this year to become Alberta's envoy in Washington, D.C. The UCP has held the seat since its party's inception, but before that, it's bounced between the Wild Rose and Progressive Conservatives.
This by-election is a choice between a strong, united Conservative voice or a divided movement that lets the NDP back in.
The Republican Party of Alberta candidate Cam Davies is hoping to take advantage of tension between the province and Ottawa to push Alberta separation.
I think it's going to be a very interesting race to watch. Add to all of that the fact that the one separatist candidate that has ever been elected in Alberta history happened in what was Old Didsbury. In other words, overlapping with this current riding. And that suggests that there may be a bit more openness in this particular riding, both in terms of its history and just in terms of current political dynamics.
Advance voting runs until Saturday, with the election set for Monday. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Olds.
That Separatist Party win that Lori Williams referred to was back in 1982 when Gordon Kessler from the Western Canada Concept Party won a by-election in the old riding of Old Didsbury. By-election day is Monday, when polls will be open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
This is CTV News Calgary.
Okay, Danielle, if you happen to have tomorrow off, don't call in sick or anything, but if you happen to have tomorrow off, that's the day to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow looks stunning. In fact, we have the warm temperatures for tomorrow. We have lots of sunshine. The wind should be relatively calm in most communities. So beautiful day to make the best of it, because then after that, it's a long stretch of cold and very rainy weather. Flooding will likely be an issue in many communities with this rain to come. All right. 27 right now in Medicine Hat, 26 in Brooks and Milk River, 28 in Lethbridge, and 21 in Calgary. So that southeast corner, definitely the warmest in the province at this point. Medicine Hat all the way through Brooks, Lomond, Claresholm, up through Calgary. All of these areas in the yellow here under the severe thunderstorm watch still. However, things are calming down for the night, and there's not a ton of steam left in any of the systems that have been developing in southern Alberta anyway. A bit of a different story, as you can see, central Alberta. All right, this, you can see the lightning dying out of it as it's arriving to Highway 36 and just passing through there. Mainly just a rain event at this point. This is where we had, near Dutchess, is where we had the severe thunderstorm warning in place earlier, but that has since ended. So things are quieting down. There's nothing tracking towards Calgary at the moment, but there's still the potential for thunderstorm activity for these next couple of hours. Okay, look at these two lows. This is the big long-term story and the heavy rain. It's looking like these lows are combining, so it could create a more intense system. Plus, it's a slow mover, so we're looking at a lot of rain for this system. Things will quiet down Calgary and south in the next couple of hours, and then we're just looking at potentially isolated showers overnight tonight in Calgary. Tomorrow, as you can see, stunning, but by Friday, we're looking at the potential for rain, which could be quite heavy at times. I'm just going to play this through so you can get an idea of the system. So it's a lot going on with this, which is why, while these totals are at the higher end, this is the potential. 23 degrees, beautifully sunny for tomorrow, so enjoy it. 14 degrees by Friday, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain possible. Then on Saturday, when we could see the heaviest, 50 to 75 millimeters of rain in a short period of time, and just a high of 10. 13 for Sunday, and the rain continues, another 5 to 10 millimeters. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. Hundreds of women in Calgary will be getting a free handbag thanks to a fundraiser. The Women in Need Society has been asking people since Mother's Day to donate a gently used handbag filled with unopened items, from toothpaste to feminine hygiene products. Since the Handbags for Hearts campaign began, more than 500 have been dropped off. However, they're encouraging people to continue to donate.
We continue to receive them all throughout the year. So this wasn't a Mother's Day initiative. However, we continue to receive these and give them out throughout the year. So we anticipate being able to give out more closer to 800 this year.
Schmidt says the handbags can build confidence and empowerment for the women they serve. You can donate the gently used handbags at any Wynn store in the city. They are tiny little critters that can cause a real mess. Still ahead, why voles are such a problem in Calgary lawns, and how a new affordable housing development will give hundreds of people a hand up. They might look like ordinary patches of grass, but what's lurking just beneath the surface is causing costly damage for Calgary homeowners. Small rodents are tunneling their way through lawns across the city, leaving behind a mess. Mark Villani reports.
It looks like a normal, healthy lawn until you look closer. These tiny golf ball-sized holes are being made by voles. Often mistaken for mice, the small rodents are underground intruders, carving out winding tracks and destroying greenery.
They had been eating the roots of the plants. And we lost roses and a number of other plants as well.
This year, yeah, we're having a lot of vole calls, more than usual.
It's why pest control technicians recommend setting up these strategic bait stations and getting them refilled every couple of months. When placed around your home, they're meant to feed voles with a dehydrating product.
And after that, they're going to keel over, they're going to die. And the good news is you're not going to see hundreds and hundreds of dead rodents on your property, because they will be dying underground.
But voles are a year-round issue. They're at their worst in the wintertime, when they have months to feed off lawns under the protection of snow-covered insulation. Experts say it's why you should keep your lawn short, avoid fertilizing past the first week of July or so to keep grass naturally dormant heading into winter, and avoid other attractants like bird feeders.
Ultimately, it's clearing up plant material. It is, clearing up dead grasses.
And for homeowners who've dealt with voles before, it's all about staying vigilant year after year.
You have to maintain it, and you have to be aware that the little guys are there.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
He's a teenager who may give you greater confidence about the future. Next, how his mom's health condition inspired him to do some genetic editing research. A Calgary teenager is on a mission to prevent genetic defects. Logan Sear is only in grade 11, but his goal is to one day come up with a treatment for newborn babies that could prevent a lifetime of challenges. Kevin Fleming has more.
He's looking at DNA attached to a kidney protein, and this is something that Logan Sear uses to identify genetic disorders. For the last 10 months, he's been passionate about biology.
A DNA mutation, it could either just be a mutation that makes the DNA not function as it otherwise would, that just occurs randomly and you just get unlucky.
Sear is looking to even the playing field through genetic editing, replacing a defective gene with one that works, and it could be used anywhere in the body.
If you could control how your brain develops during development, everyone would just have equally functional brains. Nobody would need to have like a memory disorder or be prone to Alzheimer's or anything like that that's just due to getting unlucky while you're developing. It could all just be streamlined and everyone would have the same chance at life.
He's focused on kidneys right now because his mom was born with just one, and that one failed in 2019. She's been in hospital since last November.
This is actually the 6th time she's gone in, and this time it was to get a new kidney, but it did not work. And she's been kind of put back. And after the incision, she just hasn't fully recovered yet.
The 16-year-old is in grade 11 at the STEM Innovation Academy, but is one of close to 70 students at the Knowledge Society that's helping him reach his goals.
We are the top youth innovation program for students who are between the ages of 13 and 18 years old, still in high school or middle school. And we help students work on projects that they're really passionate about, excited about.
Cyr says genetic research is advancing rapidly, and the work he's doing is extremely advanced. And he's focused because he wants to find solutions to help others.
I'd say every few hours you could search something up, and if it was the right thing on the right day, the answer would change depending to your search results, depending on the day.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
And we've provided more information about the Knowledge Society on our website. Well, many of us have seen a black bear in the mountains, right?
Yeah.
And that can be alarming, but imagine seeing one in your home.
Oh.
Check out this dog coming face to face with a bear in a home in the Los Angeles area. The dog, a 17-year-old named Doodle, manages it pretty well. Zoe Cadman could be heard on the security video screaming at the bear, but he keeps wandering through the house. The bear is also wearing a tracking device around its neck, indicating it may have broken into homes before. And there he is.
He's got a record, huh?
Yeah, just wandering away.
I give the dog credit, but after a little bit, it was just like, oh, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, and it's 17. That's very impressive, too.
I used to live in Timmins, Ontario, where they would climb up balconies sometimes. And, yeah. I think that's my fear of bears, where it comes from.
I get you.
Careful
I understand that. Yeah. Well, here's a reminder that sometimes new technology isn't always the best technology.
Oh, God, look at it. It's perfect.
The new owner of this Honda CR-V is wowed by the cup holders, 4 in the front for the driver and passenger.
Ooh.
Each person could have a coffee and a water bottle. I mean, come on. This post has 600,000 likes on TikTok. Even better, the owner says he bought this 1998 vehicle for $500 on Facebook Marketplace.
Well, that alone's worth it, isn't it?
Money well spent.
Absolutely.
Finally, in trending, something that generated some debate in our newsroom today.
Trying to find some real in all the noise.
That's Jeremy Allen White playing Bruce Springsteen in Deliver Me From Nowhere. The trailer for the movie was released on YouTube this morning. But does he look like Bruce Springsteen? White certainly captures the boss's singing voice. You can decide for yourself when the film is released in October. Of course, you had Timothy Chalamet portraying Bob Dylan a few months ago in A Complete Nowhere, and he looked spot on like Bob Dylan. So maybe the standard has been set a little high. Who knows?
Close enough.
Well, Calgary needs new homes, lots of them still to come. The planned community with the blueprint for thousands of units.
All right, your Skywatch weather camera, and turned out pretty nice in Calgary. We had the severe thunderstorm watch in place for the afternoon hours, but nothing really materialized to that extent in Calgary. Some other communities saw some more active weather and some hail. All right, 21 degrees is the current temperature. 22 was the high today. We're pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Here's a look at the severe thunderstorm watch that is still in place, issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada. Again, this will likely end pretty soon because the activity, the intensity is pretty much dying out for the day. Still the potential for thunderstorms, but likely for most communities, we're not looking at anything at that more severe criteria. Okay, your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right, or it's free. So for Calgary, yes, there is the small potential of seeing some thunderstorm activity over these next few hours, but most likely what it will be is just some isolated showers in those overnight hours. For the morning and tomorrow afternoon, it's a beautiful day, high of 23 degrees. Really take it all in. Enjoy the moments if you can, even if it's just from staring out your office window, because things change completely because of these two systems likely starting to merge, and then a slow mover. This is going to produce lots of rain and much cooler temperatures come Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Here's a look at what's happening on the BC side. Edmonton looking at rain for tomorrow, potential for thunderstorm activity, Rocky Mountain House. But in southern Alberta, we are looking at sunshine, dry weather, 26 degrees for Lethbridge, 27 for Medicine Hat. For us in Calgary, a high of 23 tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as you can see, much cooler temperatures, and we're looking at over 60 millimeters of rain possible within those 3 days. Ian?
Thank you, Danielle. Brace yourself for a jump at the pumps. The cost of fuel is going up and is expected to rise even more due to growing tension in the Middle East. Experts say we could see gas rise by 5 to 15 cents a litre. Calgary has fallen in an annual list of best places to live in the world. The Economist Intelligence Unit has ranked our city in 18th place, down from 5th last year. Business people who supplied everything from food and souvenirs to leaders and delegates at the G7 summit say it was a worthwhile event. They like the worldwide exposure and hope visitors will come back. More than 200 townhomes are part of a new project taking place in the city's southeast. The townhomes are being built on the former site of a school at the corner of 12th Avenue and 34th Street. The project will include a range of 1 to 5 bedroom homes with estimated starting prices around $170,000. The first homeowners are expected to move in next spring.
When we can see a family now living in rental accommodation, which is great, right? Great to have a roof over your head and shelter. But when we can see that family move out of that into a place where they can call home, have ownership, have a title, are able to build that family wealth through ownership, it's the absolute driving force behind what we do.
Meantime, feasibility studies are being completed to build 3 transit-oriented communities near LRT stations. The Calgary Municipal Land Corporation will be conducting surveys in the Fish Creek, Lacombe, Dalhousie, and Anderson areas later this month. Further southeast, we're getting new details about what's being built, a luxury community. Jamin Living revealing Nostalgia Townlet just south of Seaton and along the Bow River. The 5,800-unit community will include a variety of home styles from affordable living to estate homes. The homes are expected to start at $300,000 with a number of amenities planned.
We're going to have something special here. We'll have the townlet. We'll have the clock tower, 155-foot iconic clock tower here. We're going to have the most amazing athletic club in North America, we believe.
The private athletic club will include an NHL-sized hockey rink, a 25,000-square-foot fitness center, and a 380-meter running track. Their hope is to have paving completed by the end of October, with the first show homes built by June of 2026. Canadian stocks moved up today, closing in on last week's record high. B&M Bloomberg's Andrew Bell brings us the latest in business.
Hello there. Toronto's benchmark stock index edged higher today, leaving it only slightly down from that record high close posted on Tuesday of last week. Canadian stocks are up almost 7.5% this year, outpacing a gain of less than 2% for the U.S. market. One winner in Toronto today was the natural gas processor Keyera. Its stock jumped almost 6% as investors welcomed the company's plan to buy the Canadian natural gas liquids business of Texas-based Plains All American, plus some U.S. assets for just over $5 billion. BMO upgraded Keyera shares to buy, calling the purchase a, quote, scale-changing deal. The Canadian dollar traded at 73.01 U.S. cents, down almost 1/4 cent. West Texas Intermediate oil was at $73.50 U.S. a barrel, up 23 cents. Our latest fix on Western Canadian Select oil has it at $61.25, up 59 cents. And the TSX ended at 26,559.85, up just over 18 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Andrew Bell of B&M Bloomberg.
It's not good news for the Calgary Stampeders. Coming up, Glenn has the latest on the prognosis for an injured star receiver.
We both love soccer, everything about it. So.
Yeah, we both play.
More than 24,000 fans were at BC Place in Vancouver last night to see the Canadian men's soccer team begin playing the Gold Cup Championship. And they enjoyed watching Canada beat Honduras 6-0. The FIFA World Cup is just a year away when Vancouver will host 7 games. The Calgary Stampeders are at home to the Ottawa Red Blacks on Saturday. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, we learned a lot more about one of the injured players today.
Ian, last night we told you about the Stamps suffering some devastating injuries against the Argos on Saturday. Today we found out one of their leaders won't be back for a while. Receiver Reggie Begelton suffered a leg injury against the Argonauts on Saturday afternoon. But when he went down, you just knew it didn't look good. And today we found out Begelton has a broken leg. He's been placed on the 6-game injured list. Losing a player like this is going to be tough for everyone on the Stamps, but it now opens up opportunities for others, and they've got to take advantage of it.
You do have a little mourning period when you know that guys potentially could be done for the year. That's always tough. It is next man up. I think we've got some depth right now. It's another man's opportunity. I mean, a lot of times, sometimes it takes unfortunate injuries for that next guy to get the opportunity to show us what he can do, but never nice to lose some of your best guys.
It's Family Fun Day at McMahon on Saturday. Kickoff for the game against Ottawa just a little after 2 o'clock. And after the game, the Stamps go on a bye week. Well, what do you do if your golf ball lands in a rock bed? Well, our resident pro, Scott Orban, gives us some options.
Mackenzie Meadows Golf Tips with PGA Pro Scott Orban.
We're on the par 4 16th at Mackenzie Meadows, and we've hit it into the rocks. I got a new set of clubs, Cobras. I'm not hitting this. This is hit step.
I guess we're playing a scramble. So we are in a hazard depicted by that red stake. I told you not to hit it left.
Yeah.
I think I could hit this, Glenn, but I got this rock in front of me, and they changed the rules, I think it was 2019, where you can move a loose impediment. So this rock is a loose impediment. You can move it in the hazard. Before, you couldn't do that. So I'm taking this out of my way. All right? I'm going to take that out of the way. Now, what you want to make sure is if you're taking rocks out of the way, if your ball moves, then you're going to get penalized. I got this in my backswing, and there we go. So I'm only about 100 or so yards.
What are you using?
And I've got a 9-iron.
Okay.
So now this isn't for the faint at heart. Do you want to hit that out of there? Or do you take penalty stroke, drop back of the hazard?
Risk reward again.
You know, we like to win. So I guess I'm going to hit this shot, and you're not going to hit your new Cobras. So let's see how I do. All right. Oh, wait. There's one more rock there. Let me just sneak. Look at that. I snuck that out. I could see I was going to hit it. So that was a critical one. So I really got to get my level correct here. I just really got to get my level.
Oh, come on. Down off the hill. That's a great shot from there.
Not a bad shot.
Saved the stroke.
Tiny, tiny nick. No big deal. But we're looking at birdie now.
Team scramble. We're the best. Let's go.
Campbell scramble.
Yes, indeed. Next week on Golf Tips, practicing with one hand to help your game.
With one hand?
Yeah, tune in. It's kind of cool.
Is that what I'm doing wrong? Good to know. A bit of a challenging weekend if you have a tee time book.
Yeah.
Right?
Campbell Scramble, did I say that right?
You did. Campbell Scramble,
yeah.
yes.
Has got to get his golf in tomorrow because after that, it's not golfing weather at all. 23 degrees, mainly sunny tomorrow, and then heavy rain for Friday, as you can see, especially on Saturday. Localized flooding may be a big issue and much cooler temperatures as well. So this is a big bout of rain on the way, absolutely. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style budget in Alberta's climate. Ron Jeffrey sent this in from Jasper. He has the right idea for tomorrow as well, you know? As Ian said, don't call in sick or anything.
No, don't do that.
No.
But if you do have the day off, tomorrow is the absolute ideal time to do something outside. Okay, thanks very much. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.